Hello, my friend. Today marks about 1 year where I started doing a practice that I think has really helped my sleep out, and it was the beginning of a very big cascade that I call optimizing my sleep. Okay, and so yeah, that started all about 1 year ago. Sure, there was probably some stuff happening beforehand, but it really started about a year ago today, where I started trying to fix my sleep, optimize my sleep. And so the singular step that I did that actually really helped my sleep out was taping my mouth shut. So that's gonna sound kind of weird, but I think the way it really helped my sleep was it made me more of a nose breather, right? 'Cause, I mean, if you tape your mouth shut, you can't breathe out of your mouth unless you force it open, right? You're mostly breathing through your nose. But what I think that allowed me to do was I was getting more oxygen in throughout the night and just better breaths, higher quality breaths. Because whenever you're breathing through your mouth, most of the time it's these shallow, like low breaths, right? Especially when you're sleeping, it's just it's like faster paced, like gross breaths, right? But with the nose breath, you have to take slower breaths almost, but they're deeper, and so you get more oxygen and you are in like a calmer state, if that makes sense. Because think about it, someone who's in a calmer state probably gonna nose breathe more, right? Because they're at peace, they're going to be right. And whenever you're in like a very like heavy heart rate zone, you're gonna be like panting, like right. That's just what I associate as like higher alertness and awakeness versus like deep restness, right? And whenever you're sleeping, you want to be in like a deeper state of rest. And they've also shown that people who are mouth breathers throughout the night and they like snore and stuff, that can be a sign that you're not getting enough oxygen throughout the night and you're actually having like hypoxia and stuff like that. And so just nose breathing throughout the night is just an overall better way to improve your sleep because you're not going to have disturbed sleep because your body's going to actually be like okay, you're going to get enough oxygen, right? So that's probably one of the bigger things that I've done to really help my sleep. I think ever since I started doing it, it has really helped. Now, you don't need to do that, right? You don't need to tape your mouth shut, right? But a lot of our jaws are super weak nowadays just because so many of us eat super like like not chewy foods. They're like super soft foods, right? Like I'm even guilty of this myself like now, right? Like I don't eat nearly enough tough food that I should be doing, right? And I eat like beef and eggs and stuff, but it's like eggs are soft, ground beef is soft, right? It's not like nothing is like challenging my jaw, right? And that's the thing is like whenever you have like jaws that are being challenged by like eating like tough meat or like chewing on bones or something, right? Or like eating I don't know like some tough plant, right? Whenever you're like gnawing on that, right? That's what builds these things up and that's what allows you to keep it shut whilst you're sleeping. So you don't have to tape your mouth shut. Just if you're eating like tougher meats or chewing like tougher gums, it's going to build up the strength of your jaw and it's going to stay shut throughout the night, right? But if you're in the beginning stages, like I am, honestly, and you forget to eat tougher food like I have, taping your mouth shut is a good alternative, right? So I use just like masking tape, right? I think the advised way is to get some medical tape, but I just use masking tape. I'm gonna be completely honest, right? Probably should use medical tape, like micropore tape, so you don't have any like reactions. Because I remember if I leave that stuff on for too long, there's like a weird like rash thing, and it's not very pleasant. So yeah, just be cautious of that. Get some like hypoallergenic tape so you don't have any like weirdness on your face when you wake up. Okay, that's the one of the tactics that I've done to optimize my sleep, right? And there's various others. And so since it's about 1 year since I started doing this journey, I'm gonna actually give you more details because just talking about how I tape my mouth shut for a year, like that's pretty minuscule. All it's really done for me is it's just allowed me to nose breathe better and like made my jawline a little bit better, right? Like honestly, jawline most of the time it comes down to your body fat percentage, from what I've seen, anyways. And I mean, there's a little bit there with like what's his face? What do you call it? Like orthotropics or whatever. Whereas basically you do like face exercise and it like molds the bones of your face, right? To have a more attractive face. That stuff, right? I think that's like stuff that you do over a longer period of time. But body fat percentage is probably one of the biggest indicators that you can change like in a quicker way, right? So yeah, for jawline anyways. But yeah, let's talk about the other things I'm doing to optimize my sleep, right? And that have stuck around because I've done a couple other things to optimize my sleep, but they haven't really stayed. Okay. So the first thing that I'm doing to optimize my sleep that has stayed is morning sunlight, right? For the most part, I try and get morning sunlight every single morning, right? Now, does that happen? Not really. not as often as I'd want it to be. Because, so Andrew Huberman, he's this neuroscientist doctor. You've probably heard of him. He talks about, if you go outside in the morning, the sun will shine in your eyes, and basically that'll set your internal alarm clock to wake up around that same time again the next day, right? And so doing that over and over again, it kind of sets you up to wake up at around that time that you were getting the light in your eyes. It sets your biological clock to do that and just makes it easier. So whenever you set an alarm, you're not like a zombie coming out of bed. And so that kind of has to match up with your chronotype from what I've like researched and heard about and also experienced in my own life. Kind of needs to match up with your chronotype a little bit more because even whenever I get like bright light into my eyes, whenever I try and wake up like super early in the morning, I still feel groggy, right? And even if I do it like day after day after day, it still doesn't help because my chronotype is just not aligned to that. Like I'm genetically not really able to wake up that early. Yes, like it becomes easy after a certain point, but you have to trade off, right? Because like there's some times where I'm just going to bed way too late and I can't wake up that early and justify it, right? With getting like 6 hours in bed. That's just like that's pushing it, man. So yeah, you have to kind of line it up to your chronotype, just so you know, right? Most people tend to go to bed around like 10 p.m. and wake up around 6 a.m., right? I'm one of those people. I'm average. Oh no. I'm the normal chronotype. Oh, that's tragic. But yeah, I find that I wake up best around sunrise, right? And I find that I go to bed best around like a few hours after sunset. That's about it. So yeah, that's my personal thing with the sunlight thing. And so I do like to see the sunset too. That also does help set the internal clock. And it's great. It's a beautiful sunset most days. Unless it's like rainy, it's it's tragic. So yeah, but you can still get sunlight in your eyes. I find that to be super cool. Is you can still get light into your eyes even if it's cloudy outside, because yeah, it's like dark and it's like dreary, but light is still getting in. And if you go out in the morning, it's the type of light that'll activate that clock in your brain. So still go outside even if it's a bit cloudy because you got to get your morning sunlight. You got to get your Andrew Huberman sunlight in, bro. Anyways, the next thing that has really helped my sleep out is covering my window up whenever I go to bed, right? Because a lot of times throughout the night, maybe there's a car that goes by and their brights are on, obviously. And so it's just like, so I remember whenever I used to be younger, I would think like there were like helicopters or like aliens outside, like searching for me or something. I'd hide underneath my covers because there'd just be this bright beam of light, like vroom, go like in my room. I was like, what's going on, right? But it's just cars. But the thing about light entering your room whenever you're sleeping is that it disrupts your sleep because your brain interprets that light information as it's like, oh, hey, it's daytime, right? Even though it's not daytime. And so you wake up a little bit and it disrupts your sleep, right? Sleep, you want to be in like this kind of consistent flow, right? Because you go into like deep sleep, like into like a lighter sleep, you go into like REM sleep, you go into deep sleep, all this stuff. It's like a cycle, right? But if you disrupt that cycle, you have to go into like a light sleep, then deep sleep, then REM sleep again, right? So it's just like the cycle, but you have to, like, it takes time to get into the deeper stages of sleep, which are super helpful, right? But if you keep interrupting that, you're going to get like brain blasted. And I used to get brain blasted all the time because I'd have like my window would be open, I'd have my door open, right? So there'd be constant distractions when I was trying to sleep. right? Light would be entering my room. Someone would be walking past my room, or, someone was staying up later than me. And so the light would be on over there. And, maybe an animal would like one of our pets would come into my room and like jump on the bed and take up the entire bed. Like we have, we have this dog, bro. I love this dog, bro. But I cannot let him sleep in my room, because whenever he jumps on my bed, he sits in the center and he takes up the entire bed. And it's like, I can't sleep with that, bro. He's taking up all the space. And yeah, it's like constant distractions will absolutely trash your sleep. And ever since I've removed those from my sleep, it's been so much better. So much better. I've been getting way better recovery, way better everything. So yeah. Been talking about mouth tape, sunlight, and distractions when I go to bed. What else can I talk about? Pushing myself throughout the day. So, my next video I'm gonna make over like passion, right? Or I'll probably talk about like cold exposure or something. But anyways, pushing yourself before you go to sleep, right? Pushing yourself energetically throughout the day really helps, at least me, go to bed, right? It probably will help you, because you'll be tired, right? Like a lot of the people nowadays, they're lazy, right? So they go about their day and then they try and go to bed, but their brain is still ticking, right? Probably because they blasted some caffeine earlier in the day, right? And their sleep cycle's already messed up, but also because they're not tired enough, right? Like if you think about it logically, right? If you get tired, you're going to have more of a need for sleep, right? Your body's going to be hungrier for sleep because you need to recover, right? So if you don't make yourself hungry for sleep, your body's not going to want to sleep as much, but it's going to get like lower quality sleep if you try and do this like longer sleep time thing, right? It's not going to work. Right? Overall, the equation, if you don't put work in, it doesn't work, in my opinion. And from what I've found, I get the highest quality sleep whenever I genuinely push myself the day before, because my body's like, hey, we need to recover. And so let's get good recovery tonight. Let's sleep good tonight so that we can do the same thing tomorrow. Right? And so whenever you do that again and again and again, and you push yourself throughout the day, obviously not going crazy, not doing like 1,000 sets of bicep curls or whatever, right? Obviously within your boundaries, but still like pushing just to that limit. Whenever you're there, you're gonna be so tired, and when you hit the pillow, you're gonna be lights out. You're gonna get the best sleep ever. You're gonna get the best night ever. So I found that to be extremely helpful. And so whenever I don't get like good sleep, or I find myself just like laying in bed awake, I start to question like, okay, did I actually do enough today? And sometimes I did, right? And so that leads me to the last thing that I'm going to talk about today, which is just calming your brain, like shutting your brain off. Because I find myself, before I go to bed sometimes, I just constantly think about stuff, right? And you probably do the same. A lot of people just overthink about crap. Like they hit their head hits the pillow, and then they start thinking about stuff. It's like, no, I want to go to bed. But you can't, because your brain is too busy like telling you that thing that you did today. And oh, hey, remember how this one guy looked at you? And oh, hey, remember that one insult that one person told you, right? Like it brings up these things. And so you just need to shut off your brain, right? This is something that I've done a couple nights, and it helps so much, right? And I don't know why I don't do it more often, because it helps with sleep so much. And it's basically just a body scan. It's where you just breathe in, right? And you imagine like a light that's coming up through your feet, and it's coming up, and it's coming like each inhale, it comes up more like from your feet to your knee, to your hips, to your chest, and then like up to your arms and your head, right? And then back down. But most of the time, if you're really like paying attention and like kind of imagining like the light sensation, most of the time whenever you're so focused on yourself and you're not on your thoughts, you'll just drift off into sleep. And so whenever I used to do that, because I haven't done it recently for some reason, but whenever I did do that, I'd get halfway and I'd just zonk out, and I'd wake up the next day like, oh no, I didn't finish it, no. But it helps, right? You just get so relaxed. You take deep breaths in and out, and you focus on the breath and like the feeling of your body, relaxing your body, and it helps you just drift off into sleep. So yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got for what I've been doing to optimize my sleep. Those are the biggest things that have stayed. I took sleep supplements for like 3 months, and honestly, I don't think they help that much. I'll be completely honest. The biggest things whenever it comes to sleep is going to be the behaviors, right? Like you can take all the sleep supplements you want, like the melatonin, the magnesium, right? Like the Andrew Huberman freaking like split, not the split, the Andrew Huberman bundle, right? Like you can do that, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to behavior. Like behaviors are like 99% of what you need to fix your sleep, right? So no distractions, no BS light, don't trigger yourself. Don't think as you're trying to go to bed. Don't scroll on TikTok in your bed, right? Just go to bed and get good at sleeping. And then on top of that, if you need to, then think about supplementation. I think that's really just the best way of going about things. So yeah, that's all I'm doing for optimizing my sleep, bro. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you took something helpful out of it. And yeah, 1 year of optimizing my sleep. Here's to many more. Many, many more. I feel great. I'll be completely honest. And so hopefully in 1 year, you've implemented these things as well. And you feel even better than I do now. Which I don't know how you would like measure that. But just feel better than you do now. And just have an amazing time. Because like I said in the beginning, sleep is just the foundation. So if you can master sleep, everything else is going to get better on top of that. And yeah, so I'm going to try and master my sleep some more, and you should do the same. So yeah, if you like what I'm saying, do the stuff, go subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, bro. Be better and have a W day.